Today we're going to be doing a Yuan Studios Ichigo Kurosaki 1000-year Blood War unboxing of this resin statue. This thing is a 1:6 scale. I'd say it's pretty massive. Of course, it's not as massive as a 1:1 bust or a 1:4, but it's still a 1:6, and for sure way better than PVC figures. Do not at me for that. That's just my personal opinion. I've converted from collecting PVCs to now collecting resins, and this is my first ever resin in my collection. I'm doing a part 2 essentially to my previous video, because I felt like it didn't do enough justice to how good the statue truly was in its full potential. So let's just start with unboxing it. I'm showing y'all basically the gist of the box here already. So you guys can see everything. This is the other side, by the way, of the box. You know, looking real slick and real good right here. Y'all can see. And we're just gonna get started, right? So once we open it up, man, we're presented with a few layers. Now, I did have to put this back in to do this video, so it's not completely perfect, you know what I'm saying? But we'll do with what we got going on right here. So I've eventually taken every single part out. As you can see, it comes with 3 different pallets of these, and they also, of course, have all the different items within each one. I'm gonna start with this one because this one does have the base, so I'll get that out for y'all. And real quick disclaimer, since you guys know we are handling with resins, we really want to be really careful. Even with the bases, I know the bases, I'm pretty sure this is not entirely resin, the base, I'm pretty sure it's a different type of material, but it's still brittle and we want to be extremely careful. So I'm gonna show you guys here. First, these are the heads, or these are basically the things that you guys can basically place and use, and basically it's gonna represent where you place the heads. I'll show you guys the heads in a bit. Here are the chains, as well as a little stand you can put the card on, which I'll show y'all in a minute. The chains are heavy, by the way, so very high quality there. We'll just move all this to the side. Do I have anything underneath here? Okay, I have 2 more pieces underneath here, and of course this is going on with the base. And I'll show you guys where those go on, because a lot of people get those wrong. And we'll just put everything back here, you know what I'm saying? Get all this back in this bad boy. Okay, we have the leg of Ichigo Kurosaki there. Let's see, this should be another thing right here. This is basically where we can place the additional sword. And the bottom's a little dirty. Let me try to clean that real quick. This is basically where we place the base on a sword. It's pretty solid height, as you can see. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy, but you can basically see what it is right here. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I obviously took this base out by myself. It's just going to be literally impossible to do it with one hand, so I took it out here to show y'all the magnificent base we got here going on. I do like the little details, you know. Pay attention to all the details of the statue here. I'm going to show you guys where these 2 pieces go on first. I feel like there's not really many videos for what's it called, this statue here, but this piece right here, very straightforward. It just goes on right here, and essentially what it is it's the piece to put the flag on, which I'll show y'all in a bit. So we'll place that there for now. And then this piece here with a cross, we are going to put in the back right there. Perfect. And of course, if you try it the other way, you can clearly see it will not fit. There's only one way to fit this bad boy. There it is. Nice and sturdy, nice and clean. That's what it looks like so far. If I even turn on the flash, does it look better? Low-key, the flash does look better. I might keep the flash on there in the whole video. We'll see. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, the base for like this feet and all that is pretty damn heavy. So something to definitely keep in mind. You know, flash on, flash off. Let me know what you guys like more. Honestly, I'm low-key liking the flash more. I might even have to upgrade my lighting setup, but that foot in there goes in there, like just like that. And then just like that, it slides in. You'll see that? Slides in like that. Oh yeah. And then the other foot, it just goes on here. You know what I'm saying? Just stands on the statue. I seen someone else where their foot was floating. I have no clue what they did, but they did something wrong. And then this part, of course, it just holds on to the kneecap. Of course, it's not perfect, you know what I'm saying, but this should be good here. Yeah, we're some nice and stable right there. That's what it looks like right there. We're just the lower path or lower part of his body. All right, y'all. So next up, we do have part of his arm right there. That's one of his arms. You got to be careful again. This is very brittle. It's resin. You definitely don't want to be dropping this, or something tragic will happen. That's the arm right there. there is the cape. So that's the cape. I'll show you guys real quick what this looks like. It's very straightforward and simple, but this literally just goes on the back right here, or on right here. As you can see, this little part. A lot of people put this cape wrong because they're not entirely sure where it actually goes. But I'm letting y'all know the cape goes literally right here. As you can see, it attaches just right there. And you just push it on real quick. Give it a little push. And boom, that's all you gotta do. Don't do too much. Don't do too much. Next up, we're going to this other section, and this is where his body is placed. This is gonna be a little bit difficult. Okay, never mind. It was not too difficult. You see, there's a hole obviously for this section here, and what this is here, guys. This is magnetic, by the way, and all it is you just put it in through. I know it's a little nice blow. My God, that is. You can see some glue stains there, but honestly, you're not gonna be able to see that. So I wouldn't say it's really important. But before we, oh my gosh, yes, it's magnetic. You all saw that. But before we put this on, we do need to put the cape on before. So I'm gonna show y'all basically how it looks. You put the cape on and then you put the body on. I'll show y'all in a bit. And again, I do appreciate all the packaging they provide so you guys can keep your resins safe, basically, while shipping. But this is obviously upside down here. I'm basically just gonna crop this out and cut to the part where I put the cape on and then put the body on. All right, so this is what it looks like. It's looking real good. As you can see, it's coming together. Those are little, obviously, statues, but again, you can see the size of it roughly from here. Flash off. Low-key, the flash off doesn't look too bad right now. I'm not gonna hold y'all, but I'll turn it on for the rest of the video just in case. But y'all can see the details right there. You know, putting it together. And that's what it looks like right now. Let's put the head together. I know, y'all, this might look like a total mess right now, but just trust the process. Here is one of the heads. This is my favorite head right here. I'm not gonna lie. Here's what it looks like. Super, super sick. And then what it is that you have the horn of salvation, and all you're doing is you just put it on top. There's a little like magnet hole. You go right there, as you can see, and it just magnetizes in there perfectly. Boom, wow, wow. Now what we're gonna do, y'all already know. It's magnet in the back, magnet in the back of his head. All you do is just slide it in carefully like that and press on it to make sure it is in. All right, we should be good here. It is in. And make sure the horn, of course, doesn't come off. Boom, bow, bow. That's looking real good right now. And the other heads, I will show you guys, of course, because that's what this channel is for. And I do have actually an upcoming surprise unboxing for y'all coming very soon. But make sure to like the video if you haven't, or I'm not going to upload it. But let's try to get this to one of the biggest unboxing channels on YouTube. That'll be sick. Here's the other head. This one, the face is just off, man. I'm not a fan of this facial expression. I think it's just not it. So, you know where we put this bad boy on? Put it right here. Put it right here on the face statue area. Boom. And then let's cover this up again. Cover up the hole. We'll take out the other face. I'll show you guys. This one, low key, don't blame the company, man. I dropped this. Again, keep in mind, this is my first ever resin, and it is dropped. Unfortunately, it slipped out of my hand, and yeah, y'all basically get the gist. I'm probably just going to paint over it real quick with the same orange. And because I was thinking low-key about gluing the hair back together, but it's just going to look like a mess at that point, and it's not even worth it to me. This is obviously a way better face than the other one. The other one just looks, man, I'm not gonna say it. Y'all know what I'm saying. But yeah, that one low-key, bro, kind of stinks because that's the second best head. But as long as we got the best head on, we chilling. So, you know, from the front you can't tell, but obviously from the back, it's pretty noticeable. But again, that's my fault completely. Nothing to do with the seller or anything like that. All right. And again, there are several sites. Just do your own research on which site to get from when you're copying the statue or any statue in general. In this little pocket here, little slight pocket, we had the chip right here. And let me check if there's anything else in here. Nothing else in that hole. This here is the card that we place on the card holder right here, which I'll show you guys at the end, okay? And what else do we have left here? So we have, let's put the arms on, y'all. Let's do easy stuff first. Got to be careful. Remember, like the detail of the arm, Very nice. Extremely nice. And the skin feels just amazing, man. I can't even explain it, but the skin just feels real. And I know that's like what, duh, it's gonna feel real, but dude, trust me, it feels real. Oh yeah. Okay, so this arm here, it's gonna go in the back right here. There are magnets, as you can see, right there. So, you know, obviously there's some paint stuff that wasn't the best paint job inside, but that's completely fine because who cares about the paint inside? You know, all we care about is this final product. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, put it in the wrong hole at first, but it goes in that hole right there. And it's looking real good right now, as you can see. Let's go to the other hand right here. Gotta be very careful. I feel like this thing is so easy to break. And resins in general are easy to break, but man, is this thing easy to break. Okay, this one goes obviously in the other hole here. And it's just a magnet, as you can see. So boom, okay, that was click. That was a little too fast for me, I'm not gonna lie. I thought everything was about to fall down. There we go. So it looks like, of course, try not to mess around with the arms too much, you know what I'm saying? Even though it's magnets, you obviously just don't want to mess around with it. Try to keep it how it is. But you can see body turns a little bit like that. That's what it looks like so far. We're getting pretty close, honestly, to completing this project right here, which y'all, this is my second time having to put this together, I think, or third, can't remember. Put those pieces back, and we're gonna take out some of the Gasiga Tenshos. Actually, before that, let's do the most important thing or cool thing you guys want to see. It's gonna be the swords. Oh yeah. So we have, these are his Shikai swords in his 1000 Blood War Quincy version or form, whatever you want to call it. This first one here it's not broken by the y'all. You'll see what I mean. This piece is supposed to go in first, like this. And then you guys can probably guess what happens here. You just put this in here and slide it through. And don't worry, it won't drop. They made it perfectly so it's the right size. That'll be funny if it does fall right now, but just push it a little bit. Don't be too rough on it. You could glue this together if you don't plan on taking it apart. I would highly suggest against that, because in case you ever want to sell this or switch off that sword with something else, you definitely can't really take it off once you glue that part. So just keep that in mind. That's why it comes in two parts. So it looks like right now. And we are gonna basically put this other sword. Now this other sword, I'm gonna probably have to cut this video out real quick. I have to use two hands to get this one together because it's really hard to get in. All right, there is that sword finally placed in. And honestly, for this sword, my suggestion is once you put it in, don't try to really take it out and mess around with it, because it's not easy to put it in the hole. Like, they made the dimensions perfectly so it doesn't like, what's it called? It doesn't like flop or anything like that. And it's perfect dimensions. So definitely try to keep it. Once you got down there, don't take it off or touch any of these swords really. This one's much easier because of the size or distance between his fingers, but this one, it was extremely hard. I'd recommend taking out this entire arm first and then putting it in the sword and then putting everything back together. As you can see, it's like a really tight margin for error for sure, and if you push it in too hard, too fast, you might even break off his hand, which just ruins obviously the entire statue. So definitely something to be keep in mind. But so far, looking at it, man, this looks sick right here. And of course, y'all think I forgot, we do have his Bankai sword right here. This is the biggest one out of all of them. But obviously, it'll look weird to combine this with the Shikai swords, but you definitely can if you want one like the backhand. This sword doesn't really fit in the front hand, so you replace this with the backhand sword, and it does look sick for sure, the bigger sword. But of course, it's not true to his form, since this is just his Bankai sword, which is basically these two swords formed in one, two of his Shikais formed in one right here. But I have to fix this part because this part kind of came off just a little bit, low key, I'm not gonna lie. Like this handle right here, y'all can probably see I'm trying to hold onto it. So I'm not gonna show you guys like the break, but essentially it came off. So I'm gonna have to be real careful with that and essentially glue that together. As you can see, it's like, yeah, it's just not together. Y'all can see that. So a little bit of glue should fix that, or like I think it's called blue tack or something. I can't remember what it's called. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but you know, that's where it goes right there. Essentially, we don't need it, and it's a very nice, sick scenery for the background. So definitely would recommend at least displaying the sword somehow, even if it's like a little crooked. But honestly, you can't even tell right here. You know what I'm saying? All right. So last but not least, we basically just have the plastic or transparent resin left. Okay, so we don't have too much left, I'd say. I think for the most part, we're mainly done. It might have seemed like a lot of steps, so once you get used to unboxing resins, it for sure becomes extremely fast, and I say pretty easy. And you just have to remember, of course, I recommend you guys taking videos or pictures before you unbox it, so you know exactly where everything goes. Otherwise, it could definitely get a little hectic trying to figure all these out. But some pieces, of course, are more obvious than others on where they go. I'm gonna take these out and cover this up again. This goes in here. Oh, other way around. Do we have anything in here? Nope. Okay, these are the two arms. Right. Those are two arms. And then let's see, there should be something in here. Okay, perfect. This is gonna be the Getsuga in the front, which I'll show you guys real quick. And I think it's called Jushiro Tensho or something like that. I don't think it's actually called Getsuga in this form. It's been a while since I've watched Bleach, even though I've seen Thousand Year Blood War, which is like, I think, like past 2 years. But y'all get the gist, you know. Nonetheless, we're gonna try our best here on this channel. You know, don't criticize. All right, I think everything else in here is taken out, so we should be good on this palette here. We're gonna put on the easiest transparent resin first. This one just goes in the back right here. If you check this out right here, it just slides in like that. There are no magnets, by the way. This just slides and fits perfectly in. I'd prefer if they did have magnets in case for some reason there are slight dimension errors, honestly. You can see it moves a little bit, but if you just leave it there, it's not gonna fall. So, looks real sick. They did a very good job with this so far. So the last remaining pieces essentially is this big Jushiro, or Getsuga Tensho, whatever is correct. This one I'm probably gonna have to put on off camera. Not gonna lie, this is quite heavy compared to most other pieces here. Essentially, you see this part right here, just like that, no magnets here. It's a crack, and you just slide it right in slowly. And then what we do once we put that in is, there are toothpicks in here. I'm not sure why. I believe it's just to make the fit better. But essentially, I forgot which one was which side. Let's test it out real quick. Okay, this one, the long one, is on the left side. All you do is just slide in here. One thing I would critique is, again, if they could use magnets preferably in the future here. Maybe magnets aren't strong enough to hold it like this horizontally. Not sure, but I mean, it looks fine right now without the magnets. But just be careful, because this part is definitely easier to just fall off, because there's not much holding it, and it is horizontal, and this thing is heavy. And now, last but not least, our last final piece. This, you guys can already guess, goes on the other side. I'm gonna be real careful here real quick and just install this. Again, it just slides in. I'm guessing a toothpick is there because maybe the dimensions were a little bit off and they had to make it fit better. I'd probably put low key, if this ever falls, or maybe probably should do this before it falls, I might put my own toothpick in there to make it have a tighter grip. Again, I don't want to mess around with this, so I'm just gonna keep it like how it came. It came with the toothpicks in there, so I'm gonna keep it like how it came, because in case I make it too tight, it might. And for those that are wondering, this is what the face card looks like, looking real nice. I like the design here with the gold and black accents. And here's the back. We have some, I believe, Chinese letters, and then we have the number edition I have 22 out of 138. And then there's some text on the right that I cannot read. Does it look better there? It definitely looks clearer without the flash here. And low-key, guys, I'm sorry, but I forgot I'm recording this vertically again. I'm supposed to be recording these videos horizontally, so it's the proper aspect ratio. But don't worry, next video I'll for sure to record it, or try my best to remember to record it horizontally so it fits YouTube's dimensions better. But that's basically it. I mean, we don't have too much else with this statue. You know, it looks real good. And this, if you're wondering about the price, this was about I got it off resale, so I got resale value, or the resale price. but I believe it goes retail for about 400 with shipping. It might be without shipping. I'm not entirely sure, but this is what I've seen. It should be around unless 400 something or just 400, depending on the website. But most websites are pretty, I'd say, close in price. I'm just gonna check real quick if we have anything else. But this is the last thing here, and I'm not gonna lie. The first time I held this chain, this is hella heavy. This chain is heavy, man. Like when I say heavy, this is heavy. So I was really surprised, and these chains are no joke. This is not plastic. I don't know what material this is to call this, but it's definitely very heavy. It feels like 5 pounds in my hand. And I'm not even joking. This is probably heavier than like the plastic resin here. Maybe probably not the base, or definitely not the base or at the bottom, but maybe like, yeah, you know, heavier than a plastic resin. So all you do with these chains, pretty straightforward. You just put it and loop it around the base, and that's basically what you get. And so this is the final product here. I decided to just chain it around this foot. You can honestly chain it however you like, whatever you prefer. There's no really right way, I'd say, per se, but here is the final product here. And I'm gonna move this so it looks better right there. And then we'll move the two heads on the other side right here for y'all. And then last but not least, I'll put the sword at the very back. So again, hope you guys do enjoy the video. This is what it looks like with everything put together. You know, I think it's a whole good collection. If I had to rate this, I'd say, honestly, if it wasn't for the two faces here that were just like, it's not, one of them is just bad, the other one's like all right. Like you can tell which one I'm talking about, obviously. I'm gonna say it's gonna be an 8 out of 10 for me. I think what they could improve on is gonna be for sure the face. That can be improved on. Maybe using magnets here if you can for this so it's more stable. The chains are a cool addition. Everything else, base and everything is very nice. I think maybe the hand thing, if they could find a way to make it so it's not as hard to put it in, but you know, that's like a minor issue. I'd say once you get it in, you get it in. You don't have to worry about it. But I'd say overall an 8 out of 10. Appearance wise, I'd say it's an 8 out of 10. Functionality, of course, those things I mentioned, but those are pretty minor. It's not a huge issue. And then the big sword in the back looks very sick. So hope you guys did enjoy. Like and subscribe if you guys want more like this. I do have another unboxing coming very soon, but I'll upload that depending on how many likes we get. If you get 20 likes, I'll upload it as soon as possible. So yeah, hope y'all enjoy this unboxing. This is Bankai Unboxings here, and I'll see y'all in the next one.